morning. It's Friday. We apologize for being a minute late, or Jill does, because that's me. But I thought I needed some orange hair to go with the marigolds, to go with all of the things related to Ofrendas today. Welcome to the Friday Grief Chat. I'm Jill.
I'm Deb.
We're glad
And
to have you.
we are. And I'm really happy. Have you ever done this before, Jill? You've made really bad coffee and you said,
Oh,
I don't deserve bad coffee, so I poured it out and started again.
I have. And poor Stacy yesterday, I forgot whether or not I'd put my 2 blue sugars in a coffee that I'd made. And she was standing there and hadn't had her coffee. So I handed her that cup and said, I don't see any evidence that I opened the sugar, so this should be safe. And she came in about 5 minutes later and she said, did you know that blue sugar sinks to the bottom?
Oh, I love it.
So she had all the blue sugar in the very last swig, which is her favorite swig.
Oh, good.
Right. Good. So I did as much as I possibly could. But yes, I have had those moments. You just gotta start over again. And redo. Right?
Yes. And why do we have beautiful marigolds today?
Because we are coming up on Dios de los Muertos. And for that day, we have ofrendas. And in other countries, it's a very big deal. If you've watched the movie Coco, you will understand it. Yes. But here in California, and most of the desert Southwest, ofrendas are something that happen in lots of places. We have one at our office because we have a significant population of both clients and staff who appreciate them and like them. And so we have an ofrenda that one of our staff people, Priscilla, puts up every year. And we have one for people and one for pets. And so I keep a drawer full of pictures to put up. As soon as the ofrenda goes up, I run out and put my pictures on it to encourage others to feel safe to share their losses. And ofrendas traditionally have marigolds.
Will you write that in the chat? How do you spell that?
Ofrenda.
It's called an ofrenda.
Ofrenda.
And it's an altar.
It is an altar, a memorial altar of sorts. And you can memorialize anyone, anything. It's a beautiful way to remember someone. And so for our office, it gives us a chance to connect with who else has had losses. Adele's picture goes up every year, and and a lot of the other dogs do, but we've had other people who've lost dogs this year. So all of those guys go up, and it's just a chance to take a moment out. And what we see is our clients who are in that area of the office. There are 3 therapeutic offices in that surround that area where the ofrenda is. They will stop and look. And it gives them a better connection to the therapists in the office and lets them see that, you know what, losses are universal. And therapists miss people too.
And we are recommending that this upcoming week, watch Coco.
Yes.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful movie. And
take a swing past your local cemetery. If you have a community of people who are from countries that include South America, the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, you will likely see an explosion of marigolds, an explosion of other orange flowers. You will see sugar skulls.
Yes.
You will see all those things. I was going to grab a whole bunch, but my shelves have not been cooperating, so I couldn't balance them up behind me. And you will see chains of paper marigolds places. Our grocery stores can't keep marigolds in stock in the month of October.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was lucky to grab these when I did. Trader Joe's, thank you so much. If you have a Trader Joe's, go there, ask them for them. They can get them in, and they're the best price.
You know, we still don't have a Trader Joe's down here where we live, but there are lots of places you can still get marigolds, and including my garden. So
There you
Daryl's in my
go.
garden. So I will be snipping off all the flowers that have lasted past the frost, and it's uh it's wonderfully chilly out here.
Nice.
That
It's going to be almost 90 here.
Yeah, we're probably at least 30 plus degrees different.
We were 10 degrees less yesterday and 10 degrees
Wow.
less the day before. And we had
Wow.
a wild thunderstorm the day before that. We California can never decide what to do in the month of October.
Hmm.
But usually the nights are delightfully gloomy. So it
Oh,
feels like October,
I
right?
love that. I know last year, wasn't it last year, you have Coco playing in a local cemetery?
Yes, we watched in our Evergreen Historic Cemetery played Coco.
I
Yeah.
love it. I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah, we there's a death positive theme to the Caribbean countries, actually to many of the Asian countries, not the American, territories, but we have that around us, and it's nice because it gives people a place to have the memories, and then that ties in the Christian tradition to All Souls Day.
Right.
It's way past Yom Kippur.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, um, All Souls Day is more of a Catholic tradition, right?
Protestants have borrowed it now too.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I didn't
Mhm, and
know
we do
that.
that in our church. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We are, and it's also Samhain in another tradition. And because October 31st falls on a Friday, we put Samhain off because many of us want to be home to give out treats
Right.
and yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. We won't
So,
have many trick-or-treaters, but we'll be able to go see them around town, and our kids that come into our offices tend to dress up.
oh, I love it. I love it. So,
So, although with the nonprofit office, it's a little bit quieter so far, so I don't think we'll have many dresser-uppers, but I'm gonna have
mm-mm.
some candy in case children go past. That's for sure.
um, I also wanted to bring up a week from tomorrow, Steve is having his bar mitzvah.
He is.
And we should
Is.
explain to, it's another ritual that Jewish people do when it started off with a man from a 13-year-old boy becomes a man on his bar mitzvah day, which is around his 13th birthday.
That's the
And
traditional time, yes.
that's the traditional. And then and then actually Jews are pretty progressive as far as women go because actually they allow divorce. Yes, he gets to be 13 again for the third time, at least fourth time. And anyway, where does I go? Oh, so women, girls get to be women, 13-year-old, they get to do that also. And many people who didn't, either at that time in their life, they weren't raised in the Jewish tradition, and later on they wanted to, or they converted, or it was time, much like Steve. He set a time, so you have to study the Torah, which is the first 5 books of the Bible, and go through bar mitzvah classes. And so Steve has worked very hard in this tradition
And
to,
truly improved his Hebrew.
oh my gosh, yes. And
Mhm.
he's been doing a lot of specific things to be part of his Jewish community. So we'll say congratulations again in case we don't get to see you because you'll be very busy next Friday.
Yeah,
So,
and he comes from a tradition. His grandfather was a well-known rabbi,
wow.
and wrote a book, so a prayer book. So he's definitely, this is his cultural heritage. He just hasn't had the opportunity to participate as much, and so now
Mhm.
he's getting that chance, and he's really taking it and running with it, which I just love.
Yes,
I'm so glad for him.
I am too. So, in case you're not on next week, Steve,
Happy bar
very
mitzvah.
bar
Blessed
mitzvah
bar mitzvah.
blessings. Yes. And
Mhm.
then you can be a man. I don't know what
Yes.
you've been doing for the last whatever amount of years, but
65 plus. Yeah,
his what?
he's over 65.
Oh,
But
yes.
he's
Well,
gonna be a
you're
young man
13
again.
times 5, maybe
Right.
4 for
Yeah.
sure. Rabbi Herbert Morris. Wow.
I can't see all the comments today. I don't know why. My laptop is not linking to everybody.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
That
Yeah.
is really, really great. And I'm sure he'll be baking for that also. Um, I wanted to, I don't know if I told you, Tammy and I exchanged books. So I got
Nice.
her book, and it's The Grief Inside the Ache from last week. And, you know, it really is a great book about integrating loss. And she writes, just like we say, it's not about getting over. You don't get over.
No,
You integrate. I think she used another word. And
you go through it and you make it part of you.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I was thinking the other day because yet um, several women around me, their children have died. I'll just say it that way. And there was a writing from one of them. I read something on Facebook. It's true. You say, I can't imagine how you feel. That's because that mom who had their child die actually has been part of your club, right? That
Right.
your club is my child didn't die, but you have not been part of theirs. And I went to, it was one of Kate's friends that, I was just another mom in her life too. One of Kate's friends died recently.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was a rough one for Kate at many levels.
Yes.
And when I got to the Illinois memorial, because she was from Louisiana, well, she lived in Louisiana. Um, one of the dads, one of the many dads in this adult child's life, we just hugged each other. We hadn't seen each other forever, but we just hugged because, you know, it makes you think how precious your own kid's life is.
Right.
And you never want to join that club, but yet it's always a possibility.
As with all
And
clubs, there's always the time that you're gonna lose somebody.
there
But we
there
don't expect
is.
it to be our children or even our moms.
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, in Illinois, this was a horrible incident yesterday. I guess that's what got me thinking. There is a politician from Southern Illinois, or I can say his name. His last name is Bailey. And despite politics, a lot of his family and his grandkids were wiped out yesterday in a helicopter crash.
Yeah, I saw that over farms in
Yes. Darren Bailey, and
Mhm.
no matter what the politics are,
It
I
doesn't
just want to
matter.
say me as a mom, forget politics. I'm
And
a
a
parent
grandma?
and a grandma. My heart, I cannot imagine how
No.
hard that is.
That was the first thing I did was look at a picture of my grandchildren when I saw that
Yes.
come through.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who you are or where you stand, you've lost a part of your heart,
Yes.
and you've
And
lost part of your future.
right. And until you have been through it, the horrible it, you really, you, that hole is
Still sitting
deeper.
there.
Yeah. Thank you, Gail. You're right. Grief transcends any politics.
It does.
So it's just horrible. And just a lot of things. Like I said, making me think about what's in the paper. And you know, there's times you can only absorb so much sadness. I
Right.
think was it you and I talking about it last week? No, I probably wasn't. I actually there's a lot of groups much like you that I am part of with like a hospice group and
Mhm.
end of life group and whatever. And I haven't been able to comment in a while. It's like I the energy it would take to write something, I'm putting that energy into people around me
Right.
that have been having some devastating losses. And sometimes it's loss of anticipating your own loss of life, or it's the loss of life of someone else, or loss of your body the way you knew it, or your job, and now money. And
Yeah, I just did a group for our church they have a seniors and friends luncheon once a month. Um, and they tailgated me into that one this time because they just read Surviving Losses. So they wanted me to talk about ongoing losses, grief, and still finding joy.
yes,
Yeah, not a small task.
no,
And I put it together. I owe you the slides. I'll send them to you.
okay,
And I brought Walter with me, and we did our turned into almost a 2-hour event with all the discussion, and it was good discussion, and it was how many losses, so many, and when you're a senior, they just mount and mount and mount. And when I talk about out of order losses, right? When you're a senior, you've seen a spectacular number of those sometimes. And some of them had lost children and grandchildren. And one had a very sick great grandchild. So we have all of that comes through. And
right.
still to find the joy, to be able
And
to go out
still,
and see what's good in the world.
and uh, let us qualify if it has just impacted you. We're
No
not
joy
saying
necessary.
no, 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 no. There
But you
is,
are allowed to smile, and I love that that was one of the things they brought up. But people who are grieving should be able to smile and laugh. Absolutely.
and Gail just wrote, I don't have energy for upcoming holidays as it is hard to create joy for others someday. And
Absolutely.
we, Gail, Jill and I do this for a living. I'm not sure what you do for a living, but you know, some days you just go, the best way to create joy is to buy extra crab rangoon and just put it on the plate.
I buy joy weekly by buying peanuts to give to my squirrels
Yes,
and to
see?
watch them come and take the peanuts followed by the blue jays.
Yes.
I
She's a special education teacher,
that's my
so
sister. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, and she has a lot on her plate, and she finds joy, Gail, I'm gonna speak for you, by making the most spectacular backyard and front
Ooh.
yard, and it feels like a sanctuary.
Oh,
It just does. Oh, it's that,
yeah.
right? And a
Yeah.
special ed teacher, she doesn't always have time for it, but she gets to go, "Oof,"
Exactly. You
right?
know, and the I actually I truly feel it is a gift from God. I'm just going to say it that way, that I can make people smile. When I
Mhm.
say I make them smile, I do have a few exceptions. That's just some nuts are hard to crack.
Right.
And um but I make myself smile as I think of scenarios where I'd like to make them smile, or at least
Mhm.
I make myself smile, and I have
To
often,
find the humor in it.
yes, I do. And I will tell you one, there's one really hard nut to crack. And I play this scenario that makes me laugh when I feel like, why can't I do this? I think about turning the other cheek and pulling my pants down in front of that person and mooning them and tell them, well, I am turning the other cheek. And
Exactly.
that is
Here's the
so
cheek.
wrong. And Sandra, thank you for joining us. Finding joy in feeding a stray kitty,
Mhm.
right? Yes. And I like to just watch the wildlife that shows up in the back here, or at all Kings no King's Day. I I well, I know you were a frog. I was a dinosaur. And you know, someone came up to me and said, "Thank you for your bravery to show up like this."
I've
And
had people thank me for bringing joy to and for
yes,
lightening the mood, and at
yes,
our rally in Riverside, they had made arrangements for those who were in wheelchairs and who were super seniors to be positioned on various corners around the march area so that
yes.
they could participate with their signs, but not have to be out and about in a crowd. And so I made it a point to look once I realized they were there because I couldn't see anything underneath my costume. But once I realized it, I made sure at every corner I did a circle and found them and went over and I hugged more 100-year-old people who were there and saying, I
Exactly.
was in World War II and I'm so glad that we're still doing this and you guys are here and they just wanted to hug the frog.
That's
That's
yes.
what they wanted. They wanted
Yes.
to hug the frog and take a selfie. If I can make
Yes.
somebody who's 100 years
Brittany.
old smile in a wheelchair with a selfie with the frog,
Yeah,
right? There's the joy. The
there's
joy
the
and the sadness.
joy.
Right.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Brittany Nicole. Great. I'm so glad you're on here. Brittany, your mom just died not too long
Oh,
ago.
Brittany, welcome.
And her mom, I'm telling you, you know what gave me joy at camp is listening to the food that her mom would cook. Oh my God. Yeah, yeah. And Brittany, and Brittany can sing.
Oh,
So
nice.
there were times at camp, even the clown would get down, right?
Right.
Because I'd hear a lot of sad stories, but Brittany this was many moons ago. She's a little older now. I won't tell them how old, Brittany. But yeah, Brittany was one of those joys, and her sisters too. So
And
that we
that's
just
where,
go,
yeah,
ah,
even in
yeah.
sadness, especially in sadness
Oh,
and loss, we have
okay.
joy.
It's a different Brittany.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Brittany.
You're welcome here too. We like you too.
Yeah, yeah, we like you. Thank you for being here. Um, you know, there's so many little ways to just breathe in a moment of joy. And and also giving yourself permission, I think, is so important to not feel that joy,
To not force looking
to not
happy, not
force it.
force being supporting others. When I do grief slides, I now include a slide of frozen peas most of the time. And my frozen pea slide is part of my boundaries in grief part, where I talk about when you are the one that's the primary griever, when you've had the loss, you
Mhm,
don't have to put your energy out to other people in the outer circles. The energy
mhm.
comes to you. And if an energy sucker comes, you need to close it off like a balloon. And usually they find me in the grocery store. And it's safe in a grocery store because there's always the frozen pea case. And if you
Yes,
go to the frozen peas and open the door and stick your face in it, no one's going to bother you. So I
right.
put frozen peas on a slide to remind people you don't have to give your energy out when you
Yes,
are the one who deserves to be gathering the flowers around yourself and trying to find some peace in the world,
yes,
right?
yes.
Frozen peas every time.
So that's what you do, right?
I run to the frozen peas in the grocery store that
If you
you'll
start crying, did you
if
say
somebody's looks if I see somebody coming at me that I know is going to say, "I'm so sorry for your loss that I'm
yes,
struggling too," when I
yes,
know it's an I'm struggling too person, frozen peas, baby. Right?
yeah,
Not the
got
milk,
it.
because they could wanna buy milk, but not many people wanna buy the frozen peas, so that is
That's
where I
right.
go.
That's right. Oh, I love that you do that. You know, I think the first time I ever gave myself permission to not say hello to someone was when I was pregnant with Kate, and I I just was not able to put forth a certain energy sometimes.
Right.
And so I gave myself permission to walk across the street.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
to do that. I when after I lost both Linda and Casper, another widow, whose house I now own, by the way, said, "You know, if you wanna go out to have a quiet cup of coffee, you gotta drive about 30 miles."
Uh-huh.
And so I did. I drove to a little town called Redlands, which is very cute, very quaint, had a lovely coffee bean and tea leaf, and I would sit there because otherwise people knew me, and I needed to not be known.
I I
I
feel
needed to
that.
conserve the energy, and I needed to be able to smell my at that point, chai tea, but I can't have that anymore,
Yeah.
right? And I'd smell my chai tea, and I'd relax with all the nutmeg numminess, right? And just give
Mhm.
myself a break. That was my I can have a moment to let my brain rest because grief also takes brain
A lot
functionality
of
from you.
energy.
Uh-huh. It affects us neurologically.
Yeah. I have
You have a tail in front of you. I love that.
I do. Look at that.
I
Here.
don't have Zorro on me. Zorro's at
Here.
the groomer, biting the groomer. Oh, I love that's adorable. If you are not seeing this, Deb has her cat's black tail under her nose like a
Yeah, yeah,
mustache
because we're
oil.
I look like Groucho Marx. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ah, well, our time has come to an end, Jill, at
What's
least
in
for
store
this
for
week.
you this weekend?
Well, it is Pride here
Oh,
in Champaign-Urbana, and I always wanted to march in the parade. My daughter made this adorable little e-zine. It is just adorable. And she calls them Unity Love Doves. So we're going to give that out with rainbow tart candy.
I
That's
love
the
that. Are you
best
gonna
way.
wear a free mom hugs t-shirt?
Um, Two of the people are.
Okay,
Am just dressing up my regular, and I'll be holding
happy
the
self.
sign, and we'll be
Mhm.
handing this out. And I feel really good about it. And afterwards, We're going to be, it's supposed to be, thanks, Brittany, having, what's it call it? I'm going to go to the church and put some stuff together with somebody else. And, it's taken a lot of energy
Mhm.
and time this week, but it's well worth it. And I'm proud that our particular faith and our building, people who are in our building, we support we support love.
Yes, you do.
We do. That's the
Mhm.
best way to say that. So, and for all those that are doing Pride this week, different places have had it staggered through
Right.
September and October.
Be
Yeah.
safe, people. Please be safe.
Yes, exactly.
Hate having to say that again.
I know. I know.
That's a loss. But be safe. Grab a marigold, put it in your hair if your hair is visible, and go and do all the things this weekend. We will see you back next week. And then we have some guests coming very soon, including PK in December to talk about her book for caregivers.
Yes. And don't sign off quite too fast, Jill, because I need to
Okay.
ask you about a couple dates.
All
There we
right.
go. All
Everybody
right.
have a great weekend. We'll see you back next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.